Happening now at 6, Anchorage Assembly members are meeting at the Lusac Library. Tonight's agenda includes several pressing issues from public safety to continued investigations of one of its members.
Joe Allgood is at that meeting monitoring all those topics and joins us now.
Yeah, that's right. There's a couple things to watch for on tonight's Assembly agenda. Among them, the possibility of an investigation into Assembly member George Martinez for some of his Assembly travel, as well as the purchase of some new police equipment. A roughly $600,000 contract for a real-time crime center audio-visual system is on the docket for the Anchorage Police. The Assembly approved the purchase of the real-time crime center almost a year ago now that allows for up to 750 video feeds from residents or businesses who volunteer to register their cameras. The new three-year contract with Thundercat Technology would add additional displays, speakers, and video processing equipment. So we'll be watching for whether that contract goes through, what the details are, and then also updating you on the Martinez item later tonight on the Late Edition with the latest information. Rebecca, Kyle.
All right, Joe, all good. Thanks so much. We'll see you tonight at 10. While South Central is starting to see the wind die down, our latest storm system is not quite done yet.
Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry joins us now with a look at when it might clear and some flooding advisories in the Susitna Valley.
Yeah, that's where we're seeing the heaviest rain, and that's why the water levels are the highest there in the Susitna Valley. Flood watches and warnings still in effect tonight. Those are going to continue into tomorrow. It's the Yentna River specifically that is right on the edge there of moderate flood stage, and we've already seen flooding in this area here throughout the summer. This is in the Lake Creek area, so that is likely to get worse before it gets better. So flood warnings in effect for two areas in the valley, the Petersville area where flooding is likely, and then that Lake Creek area. We're also on top of the rain, just seeing a lot of runoff pushing in. The Yentna River actually climbed 2 feet today, and it's expected to stay in that moderate flood stage through at least Wednesday. And you can see, looking at the rainfall totals here across South Central, just such a variety from over 1/2 inch in Talkeetna, 1/4 inch in Jay-Bear, to just 1/100th of an inch in Anchorage and in Kenai. We did have a little bit of a rain shadow here, but also that main band just a little bit further there to the west. Now, the good news is the wind, that's pretty much died down. It's still breezy in some spots, but not seeing the extreme wind like we were yesterday. And even though this area of low pressure and the front with it over South Central is basically stationary at this point, it doesn't have a lot of energy or moisture left to it. So we will see improving conditions heading into tomorrow. Now, while we are seeing cooler temperatures in Anchorage and the valley, look how much warmer it is in Fairbanks. Beautiful sunny skies across the interior. That's not going to change anytime soon. You can see highs back into those mid to upper 70s today. As for the rain in South Central, we will see some light showers overnight, a possibility for a drizzle or a stray shower tomorrow, but I do expect those clouds to continue to break up, and temperatures will be a little warmer tomorrow, back up into those mid to upper 60s. Again, it's that Yentna River, though, in the Susitna Valley, where we are still watching that concern for flooding tonight.
All right, Melissa, thanks. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit. As the Fairbanks area approaches the end of a milder fire season than last year, smoke has actually started to drift into the interior. Alex Bengal takes us through what's causing it and what to expect going forward.
While not very visible, the smell of wildfire smoke has been noticeable in the interior on and off for the last week. Officials say it is coming from the Tatlanika Fire 40 miles south, a fire that is not currently threatening any structures or roads. The fire started around solstice, but up until lately, rain and favorable winds have kept it out of Fairbanks. This marks an improvement over last year when the borough set up a clean air room due to smoky conditions. Going forward, officials say Fairbanks could continue to see smoke and even ashfall in the coming days.
With the return of the hot and dry weather last week, that gave it an opportunity to pick up and move again. This time, just the way the weather pattern set up, the wind funneling out of the pass, coming out of Healy, was just kind of pushing it towards Fairbanks.
If heavier smoke does make its way into the Fairbanks area, lowering air quality, residents are advised to limit the amount of time they spend outdoors. Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source.
Well, a heads up for people in Anchorage, the landfill is changing how you can dispose of hazardous material. Solid Waste Services no longer accepting trash with asbestos in the central transfer station. The landfill will also ask people screening questions before waste drop-offs. Employees are keeping an eye out for construction materials from houses built before 1983. Those, of course, have a high possibility of containing asbestos. Waste Services say the changes were made to ensure the transfer station follows the same rules as landfills and to reduce airborne asbestos risk.
I would say anything that can become airborne not only affects my employees, but it's also the public that's up on the public wall trying to dump their garbage.
Now, anyone with that material can dispose of it at the regional landfill, but the trash needs to be double bagged, and the person should alert Waste Services of the drop-off 24 hours in advance. Anyone who suspects their trash has asbestos can get it tested or treated as contaminated and go through the new process.
Alaska's elections director removed more than 3,000 people from the active voter roll, including U.S. citizens.
Now, yesterday, she told the ADN that she doesn't plan to reverse that decision. Joining us now, our political reporter, Will Cordy. And just because, Will, you're taken off the list, what does that mean about what is your ability to vote?
Yeah, you are still able to vote. That's what I've gotten from lawmakers. But the concern from bipartisan majority lawmakers have at this point been that they believe that the elections director, that's Carol Beecher, is violating the law, and she could be disenfranchising voters in that process too. 20 lawmakers signed a letter last week telling Beecher to reinstate those voters, adding they were selected by flawed data. After her refusal to change course, the lawmakers I spoke with today say their hands are tied to do much more, and that there may be some action in the next legislative session.
Like we said, we know Beecher spoke with the ADN. Has she spoken with us?
Yeah, well, we did try to reach out for comment, and ultimately that wasn't returned. I did notice, however, this on social media. I got it about 2 hours after I reached out for comment. It explains what an inactive voter is. This, as I'm still waiting to see what the division's message is to U.S. citizens who have their registration deactivated. Their spokesperson did tell me they are working to give me a statement at some point, but all this comes after I've gotten a lot of pushback in our reporting on the elections division, including weeks ago when an elections official grabbed our camera and we tried to get answers from Beecher.
And Will, early voting, of course, has started. Exciting time. The governor's race, very exciting one. You talked to 13 of the 17 people running for office.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're continuing our On the Record series today. Here's what they had to say about public safety.
Tell me about how you plan to address all these very different public safety concerns.
The disease is lack of funding and the lack of will to enforce laws, to have enough personnel that feel like they can go out and enforce ordinances, laws, etc.
I think that there's a training problem. I think there's a resource problem. How can we attract and retain more really qualified people to join the already qualified people in our state who I think are working in many cases on shoestring budgets?
What I would do is I would build a task force, a state task force, and we would collaborate and work together.
So appropriate care, ensuring you're training your law enforcement, and then finishing by ensuring the community is buying into the process you're doing is how you create an effective, not just local public safety system, but effective safety system statewide.
All right, well, let's switch gears. Let's go to Washington, D.C. now. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche set for a confirmation vote. Where does our delegation stand on it?
Yeah, well, I did get a statement from Senator Sullivan, and he does support this current initiative to confirm Blanche, but a lot of eyes are on our other senator, Senator Lisa Murkowski. Politico is reporting that she declined to say how she would vote, and that matters because the margins for this confirmation vote, they're very slim. Murkowski's team tells me she, quotes, continues to evaluate Mr. Blanche's qualifications. And Kyle, it could quite literally come down to just her vote.
I guess we will see on that.
Yeah. And we are trying to get more information as well. We do have Senator Sullivan's statement. You can visit our website or our mobile app for more on that.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.